Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers show and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Age is a burden for all athletes, and LeBron James has overcome his limitations and still plays at a high level in the NBA. But he's a free agent in 2016, so the Lakers would be better off starting a reshuffle and trading LeBron James for high-level players. A high-profile trade is being proposed, in which the Lakers would acquire Mikal Bridges, an elite player. The New York Knicks may bring in LeBron James after all. Knicks could form great big three with LeBron James. The Knicks were urged by NBA insider Christian Winfield of the New York Daily News to make a deal for James, hat tip Valentina Martinez of Newsweek. The East is wide open. If the Knicks land LeBron, they instantly become the favorites, Winfield writes. A big three of James, Brunson, and Towns would rival Oklahoma City's trio of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, and Chet Holmgren as the best in basketball, Winfield writes. A Brunson-Towns-James trio would be capable of scoring 74.8 points per game or more, judging by their averages from 2024 to 25. Not only would they be great at scoring, they'd also do well with playoff poise. Could a Knicks big three with James win a title? There's much to like about James in New York. A downside would be the ball dominance that he, along with Brunson, would require in a Knicks offense that can use more pace. More so, the Knicks could send OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, as well as draft picks to the Lakers for James. That being said, New York's wings have value that can bring in a seasoned James. Nevertheless, with the right framework for a deal, New York can make a move in the near future to increase their championship chances. Lakers star Luka Doncic named to FIBA Eurobasket 2025 All-Star 5. Los Angeles Lakers star Luka Doncic was named to the FIBA Eurobasket 2025 All-Star 5 after leading Slovenia to the quarterfinals in the tournament. In addition to Doncic, the other players that were named to the All-Star 5 were Dennis Schroeder and Franz Wagner of Germany, Giannis Antetokounmpo of Greece and Alperen Sengun of Turkey. Schroeder and Wagner won the tournament, beating Sengun and Turkey in the finals with Schroeder being named MVP of the tournament. Meanwhile, Antetokounmpo and Greece brought home the bronze medal. That means that Doncic was the only member of the Eurobasket All-Star 5 that wasn't in the Final Four of the tournament. He did lead Slovenia to the quarterfinals, however, which was a respectable finish for a team that only had one NBA player on it. Luka completely transformed his body this offseason to get in the best shape of his life, and it showed in the results of Eurobasket. This marked the second time Doncic was named to the Eurobasket All-Star 5, also doing so in 2017. This year, he led the tournament in scoring at 34.7 points per game to go along with 8.6 rebounds, 7.1 assists and 3.2 steals with a 65.4 true shooting percentage. He led Slovenia in every major stat and also recorded the fifth triple-double in Eurobasket history. That was against Belgium when he had 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists in the group phase. The advanced stats support Doncic's greatness as Slovenia's offensive rating was 125.4 when he was on the floor compared to 104.0 when he was off. They had a defensive rating of 117.5 when Luka was on versus 129.7 when he was off. That's a net rating of 7.9 with Doncic on the floor and minus 25.7 with him off. While the tournament didn't get off to a great start for Doncic and Slovenia with them losing their first two games, they rebounded well to win their last three group games to advance to the round of 16. They then earned a big victory over Italy to advance to the quarterfinals before falling to the eventual champion Germany in a close game. Luka Doncic sets lofty goal for Lakers season. Now that Eurobasket is over, Luka Doncic will shift his focus to the upcoming Lakers season, where he and the organization have lofty goals. Championship, that is our goal. That should always be our goal. Obviously we went out in the first round, but our goal is championship, Doncic recently said. The Lakers could use him. Kevin Love's potential landing spots predicted by fans amid buyout talks. NBA fans favor the Lakers as a potential landing spot for Kevin Love amid buyout talks with the Utah Jazz. Reports suggest that the Utah Jazz are working on a contract buyout for 37-year-old power forward Kevin Love. The former Cleveland Cavaliers star is on the lookout for a new team, despite being assigned reduced minutes last season due to injuries. NBA fans could not contain their excitement as Love's contract buyout makes him open to being signed by his former teammate, LeBron James' new-look Lakers, with Luka Doncic. The idea of the reunion is something fans are pitching themselves. I think it's fitting the Lakers do a 3/2-for-1 trade for Wiggins and pick up Kevin. The Lakers could use him. He will sign with the Lakers right after the Andrew Wiggins trade. Low-key, I feel like he's gonna be a Laker. He's a Laker or going back to Cleveland. For once, the future Laker meme makes sense. Most obvious Laker. Most fans saw him going to the Lakers, but some others thought going elsewhere or even retiring might be Love's best option. TBH, I think he should just retire unless he joins the Cavs. The dude's made all his money, won a championship, and had a full career. I don't know what else is in store for him, said a fan on X. Love's contract was seen as one of the most veteran-friendly contracts, with the Miami Heat giving him a 2-year, $8 million deal. In July 2025, he was traded to the Utah Jazz, and now the franchise is planning to buy out his $4.1 million contract. Despite fans' excitement, they also understand that Love is a shell of his former self, when he could defend well, shoot extremely well, and provide a solid third option without any drama. But that life is behind him, and now he's a veteran role player who can give you decent minutes and also help out with the bench scoring, secondary unit, and keeping momentum going. Last season, he averaged 10.9 minutes per game, where he posted 5.3 points, 4.1 rebounds, and 1.0 assists per game. It was a significant drop-off from the previous year, when he averaged 8.8 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game, playing 16.8 minutes on average. So, the 37-year-old veteran cannot appear on the stat line as he used to. But he can be a solid mentor for the team and also provide consistent bench minutes that could be crucial for a team in its building stage, like the Lakers. They also have ready-made chemistry between Love and James, and this could be a second shot at making a big three at this late stage of their careers. Their championship run in 2016 will go down as one of the best runs ever. But can they retrace some of that greatness and make the Lakers great again? Or do you think Love will end up going to the Cavaliers or the Warriors? Let us know your opinion in the comments section. Lakers reportedly reopened discussions with Heat over Andrew Wiggins trade. The Lakers are willing to give up Dalton Connect to get Andrew Wiggins. The Los Angeles Lakers have made some notable additions to their roster this offseason, and they could potentially be making another in the coming weeks. NBA insider Evan Sidery reports that the Lakers and the Miami Heat have resumed discussions over an Andrew Wiggins trade. The Heat and Lakers have reopened discussions on a potential Andrew Wiggins trade ahead of training camp. Los Angeles is very open to moving former first-round pick Dalton Connect alongside necessary expiring salary. Miami wants a future first-round pick attached in the package. Wiggins averaged 18.0 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.0 steals, and 0.8 blocks for the Heat and Golden State Warriors in 2024-25. The 30-year-old is the kind of two-way wing you want next to Luka Doncic, and he'd be a solid addition to the team. The Athletic's Dan Woik reported that the Lakers weren't interested in Wiggins earlier this summer, but he is now a more desirable player. Doncic's signing a 3-year, $165 million extension has led to the front office being willing to be a bit more aggressive, but they are only making a deal if the price is right. Sidery states that the Lakers are willing to give up Dalton Connect and players on expiring contracts for Wiggins. Connect's stint with the Lakers had already seemed over last season, when he was sent to the Charlotte Hornets as part of the package for Mark Williams. The Lakers later rescinded the Williams trade due to health concerns, and Connect was back on the team. He failed to gain head coach J.J. Redick's trust, however, barely featuring in the first-round series loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Connect, the 17th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, finished his rookie season with averages of 9.1 points, 2.8 rebounds, 0.8 assists, 0.3 steals, and 0.1 blocks per game. The 24-year-old sharpshooter looked to be untouchable in trade talks at the start of last season, but is now very much available. As for the players on expiring contracts, they'd be Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Maxi Kleber. You'd imagine the Lakers would like to hold on to Hachimura, but he's a far more desirable asset compared to Vincent and Kleber. It was reported earlier in the offseason that the Heat indeed wanted Hachimura, Connect, and a first-round pick. That first-round pick is something the Lakers aren't putting on the table just yet. With Wiggins not pushing for a trade, though, you'd think this deal won't go through unless the Heat get that pick, but time will tell. The Lakers' pursuit of Wiggins does show that they realize there's a need for another quality wing defender. Defense is certainly the biggest weakness for this team, and the front office addressed it to an extent this summer. The Lakers signed DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, and Jake LaRavia in free agency, and selected a Duthero in the draft. Smart, the 2022 DPOY, is the best defender of this bunch, but has struggled to stay healthy. Ayton and LaRavia, meanwhile, aren't slouches defensively, but they aren't terrific on that end of the floor by any stretch. As for Thiero, he certainly has the potential to be a very good defender in the NBA, but he's unlikely to make much of an impact as a rookie. So, further roster upgrades are needed. The Lakers have to figure out a way to land Wiggins or a player of that profile if they are to become one of the top contenders in the West next season. ESPN calls Lakers out for devastating flaw they still haven't addressed. The Lakers' lack of point-of-attack defenders continues to be harmful. The Los Angeles Lakers have learned from the downside of off-season inactivity and put together a productive summer in 2025. Losing Dorian Finney-Smith stung, but Los Angeles was active in its efforts to replace him and supplement the talent of franchise player Luka Doncic. Unfortunately, there's one area in which the Lakers remain somewhere in between underwhelming and unproven: defense at the point of attack. Los Angeles made a significant leap on defense after acquiring Finney-Smith in 2024-25. Unfortunately, losing him to the Houston Rockets has sent the Lakers back to the drawing board, and ESPN has questioned whether or not they've done enough to replace his presence. Kevin Pelton of ESPN recently wrote about every NBA team's primary weakness and singled out the Lakers' lack of point-of-attack defenders as a flaw. As potent as the Lakers' perimeter trio of Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves is offensively, it's limited defensively. Dorian Finney-Smith, now in Houston, served as the Lakers' perimeter stopper after the deadline. They added Marcus Smart, but at this stage of his career, Smart might be better against big opponents than defending the point of attack. Los Angeles has players who are capable of defending at a commendable level, but it's fair to question if a current player can resolve the issue of improving at the point of attack. ESPN calls Lakers out for lack of point-of-attack defenders. Los Angeles brought in talent to help overcome the loss of Finney-Smith, as well as to bolster its depth and resources on defense. That includes 3-and-D swingman Jake LaRavia, 2022 Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart, and incoming rookie Duthero. There's rational optimism that all three could help improve the Lakers' team defense and even provide value at the point of attack. By that same measure, veteran reserves Jared Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent are proven commodities on the defensive end of the floor. Both thrive within a team scheme and provide reliable effort and results when isolated. Vincent's size limits his positional mobility, however, and Vanderbilt has played just 65 games over the past 2 seasons, much as Smart has appeared in 54 during that same timeframe. The upside for Los Angeles is that a healthy roster should be able to produce tremendous results on both ends of the floor. The downside is that they're banking heavily on the current players being able to overcome extensive injury histories or general inexperience. Thankfully, the Lakers have enough all-around upside to enter the season with optimism, and the adequate trade assets to improve by February if necessary. In the meantime, the hope appears to be that the likes of Rui Hachimura, LaRavia, and Vanderbilt will excel defensively along the wings, while Smart and Vincent can anchor the backcourt. Additionally, Bronny James and Thiero represent the untapped potential the Lakers may look to explore. Regardless of what transpires, ESPN has justifiably identified the area in which the Lakers must improve in order to avoid a self-imposed limit on their potential. How impactful can Chris Manon, Christian Coloco be for Lakers this season? Can the Lakers rely on their two-way signings as much as they did last season? Welcome to our Lakers season preview series. For the next several weeks, we'll be writing columns every weekday, breaking down the biggest questions we have about every player the Lakers added this offseason. Today, we start off with a look at both Chris Manon and Christian Coloco. Throughout the years, the Lakers have generally made good use of their two-way contracts, from Jordan Goodwin to Alex Caruso. Last season, roster imbalance from the jump forced the Lakers to rely upon their two-way players for minutes at center throughout the season. This year, with a roster far more balanced and, in theory, the team's two-way players not needing to be called upon as much, it'll be interesting to see where they fit into the equation. The team's two presently signed players are at different points of their basketball careers. Coloco finally returned to the court last season and saw sporadic time throughout the season. He returns this season following a strong summer league, likely with ideas of even more playing time, perhaps with more regularity. On the note of strong summer leagues, fresh face Chris Manon impressed with the Warriors, leading to the Lakers signing him to a deal. Will he be able to parlay his summer league success into real minutes with the Lakers this season? What are their best-case scenarios? Naturally, best-case scenarios for two-way players are generally going to involve minutes with the parent team and an eventual standard contract. For Coloco to make that jump, it would involve him showing real progression this season. While he showed plenty of potential last season, he was still a raw prospect, and there were also plenty of moments where he struggled. Eliminating those moments and becoming someone who can be readily relied upon would be a huge step for Coloco. That would likely involve improvements as a shot blocker, rebounder, and pick-and-roll lob threat. It would be more certainty and confidence for him as a player, knowing what positions to be in and what to do in those positions. Manon, meanwhile, is going to have a tougher path to playing time. As a point guard with a spotty jumper, he's going to have to really impress in other areas of the game, as well as show legitimate signs of improvement with his three-point shot. There could be a route for him if all that pans out. The Lakers don't have a backup point guard with the skill set Manon does as a playmaker. How much the team needs that could be up for debate with both Luka Doncic and LeBron James on the roster, but it could be a way for Manon to get on the floor. What are their worst-case scenarios? Again, similarly, worst-case scenarios for two-way players end in losing their two-way deals. The Lakers haven't been shy about waiving two-way players if their roster needs dictated or if there's a better option available as a two-way signing. It puts pressure on the current two-way players to continue producing or developing, too. If Coloco still has those moments where he looks raw and hasn't progressed to a point where he could be relied upon, how much more grace would the Lakers be willing to wait still? He's still just 25 years old, but is there a younger, more intriguing prospect the team might be willing to sign, like Eric Dixon, who was initially reported to have signed a two-way deal before a foot injury sidelined him this summer? With Manon, if his jumper doesn't take off and there isn't quite enough value in everything else he does, how long will the team keep an older rookie as a two-way player?